It is a classic novel, The Great Gatsby, and now it's on stage at the Paper Mill Playhouse in New Jersey.
All right, bringing the characters of Jay Gatsby and Daisy Buchanan to life are two actors who know their way around Broadway. Please welcome Tony nominee Jeremy Jordan and two-time Tony nominee Eva Noblezada. So great to have both of you here.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure.
Love Paper Mill Playhouse over in New Jersey, right? Giving Jersey a good name.
Yes.
Because sometimes it gets a bad rap, you know? Hearing great things about Great Gatsby. Okay, reading all the things about you guys. You're the two to talk to.
Apparently.
Let's begin about the show. Eva, what do you love about it?
Everything. People, creatives. I love Milburn.
Yeah.
I love Milburn.
Yes.
Make T-shirts.
That's it. With your name underneath it.
So, in case you guys are wondering, this is Daisy Buchanan and
Jay Gatsby.
Jay Gatsby.
Yeah.
So, for those who are unfamiliar with the material, tell us about your character.
Greatest novel of all time.
Jay Gatsby.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about 100 years old now at this point, and it's still timely. I mean, we reread it right before we started this process, and it's kind of amazing how ahead of its time it was, and still how relevant it still is. But Jay he's basically a incredibly wealthy human being. We're not really sure the origins of his wealth, but he fell in love with Daisy before he had any money, and she was a young debutante, and then went off to war and came back, and she was married, and he basically did everything in his power to win her back. Maybe not the most healthy, it didn't go about the most healthy way, you know, built extravagant mansions and threw crazy parties, and thought, like, this'll do it, this'll work. But yeah, it's kind of a story of, like, opulence and you know, romantic insanity.
Right.
Just a little toxic relationship.
A romantic insanity. I love that.
Yeah. How would you describe it?
I would describe Daisy as a very rich, privileged debutante who allows herself to lose herself in her romantic daydreams because of the privilege of her position.
Okay, very good.
As Jeremy mentioned, like 100 years old.
Yeah.
What do you think still connects people to this material,
Love
Eva?
money.
I think coming off the money, period. Coming out of the pandemic, I feel though there's like a certain like unhingedness of society wanting to be maybe overexpressive with themselves. And make it known about the opulence that people are feeling and the wealth that people want to attach themselves to after years of, you know, being at home and not knowing if the world was going to end.
Yeah, and the same thing was happening 20 years ago. They were just coming out of the Spanish flu, and so everybody was just like, let's live life to the fullest.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think there's a lot of things that haven't changed. You know, there's a very stark contrast between the lower class and the upper class in our story, as well as, you know, in real life. And I think you know, there's the story of sort of rags to riches that Gatsby sort of achieves, but it's almost unachievable for normal people. And the only way he achieved it was, you know, through some shady deals.
Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting because
Sounds familiar today.
we low-key kind of see that on social media.
Well, I was just
Fake
gonna
it till
say.
you make it.
Yeah.
And this facade.
Very much,
Very much. I mean,
like-
there is a lot of faking in this show.
Yeah.
Well, and you're showing
Not
like,
just the acting.
No, it's not. You're talking about opulent houses, these huge houses and stuff, but people are like, look what I can do on social media.
Right.
Look at that. And it's not even true.
Exactly.
But Roaring Twenties was a huge time period, right? So just kind of talk about some of the music for the Roaring Twenties, because we know what the style was, but how you bringing that to the show in terms of the music and the songs?
Well, we have an incredible composer, Jason Howland, and Nathan Tyson, who did the lyrics. And what they've kind of done, along with the staging and the choreography, is we've tried to sort of marry classic styles with modern contemporary movements and singing and music, because I think that's what was sort of happening at that time. There was like this old money versus new money, and we talk about that a lot in the show. And so we try to, you know, make the show very accessible to today's audience, but while still evoking the vibe and the feel of that time.
Of that period,
Yeah. Speaking of that period, I see like little touches of the 1920s.
What
You
are
got
you
going
talking
on.
about?
I don't know.
I love it.
She's got some stuff in the
My
closet.
whole closet's pretty much his costumes, which makes it easy.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, like, what aspects of the 1920s would you want to bring to 2023?
Honestly, get me a few tote bags and let me at it in Gatsby's house. You won't know any of that stuff's missing. You know what I mean?
Any nods to speakeasies in the show?
No, but I do love a speakeasy.
Right? I'm with you. I do love
I love a
Yeah.
speakeasy. I don't even drink. Just for a vibe.
Get a mocktail and
Just
the
for a
vibe.
vibe.
Hey, Paper Mill is obviously known to bring a lot of things to Broadway. You were in the original production of Newsies, which started at Paper Mill,
Yeah.
and then made its way to Broadway, where you got your Tony nomination. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Any chance this is going to go to Broadway? A lot of rumors, a lot of rumbles.
You know, we're hopeful for it. You know,
I'll put my 5 cents
always,
down.
I think it's always the goal. You know, like with a show, if you get to Broadway, that's the white whale. You know, that's the big thing, and then you know, once the show makes it to Broadway, it can be anything.
Right.
So yeah, of course. You know, we'll see what happens. We just opened Paper Mill, so we'll figure out this.
Coming this Saturday. Was this your first Paper Mill show?
My first Paper Mill. I'd never even been before, having the time of my life.
Yeah, I mean, you're a Broadway vet, but like Broadway, we do love Paper Mill.
Yeah, we love
and
Paper
now you
Mill.
get to work along. Jeremy, and which was a homecoming for you.
For me, yeah. Well, and listen, I'm a
They didn't
Jersey
close the door
boy.
on you.
They didn't close the door on me. It's like 15 minutes away from my house. It's great. I'm like, don't have to drive into the city every
That's so
day. I drove into
lucky.
the city this morning. I was like, ugh.
I'm sorry.
Don't miss this.
You could blame me, because I was like, we got to have them in before,
Yes.
before I see the show.
Oh, that's all
Thank you
good.
so much, Jeremy, Eva. See them now while the ticket is a little cheaper, because when they get to Broadway,
Yeah, exactly.
the show runs through November 12th at Paper Mill Playhouse in Millburn, New Jersey.
All right,
Check
Millburn
it out.
Standard.
Oh,
yeah.
I've been there like 6 times already.
Love
There you
that
go.
place.
Right.
What a vibe.
We'll see you Saturday. I'll be waving, all right?
They know where to go.